The Chevrolet Impala is a full-size sedan built by the Chevrolet division of General Motors, introduced for the 1958 model year. Deriving its name from the South African antelope, Chevrolet's most expensive passenger model through 1965 had become the best-selling automobile in the United States, competing against the Ford Galaxie 500 and the Plymouth Fury when full-size models dominated the market. The Impala was distinguished for many years by its symmetrical triple taillights. The Caprice was introduced as a top-line Impala Sport Sedan for the 1965 model year, becoming a separate series positioned above the Impala in 1966, which, in turn, remained above the Bel Air and Biscayne. The Impala continued as Chevrolet's most popular full-size model through the mid-1980s. Between 1994 and 1996, Impala was revived as a muscular 5.7-litre V8 Euro-powered version of the Caprice Classic sedan. In 2000, the Impala was reintroduced again as a mainstream front-wheel drive high-mid sedan. As of February 2014, the 2014 Impala ranked number 1 among affordable large cars in U.S. News & World Report's rankings. As of 2014, the Impala Limited is sold in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The Impala is sold in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Middle East. Ed Cole, Chevrolet's chief engineer in the late 1950s, defined the Impala as a prestige car within the reach of the average American citizen. History, origin and sales. The Impala name was first used for the full-sized 1956 General Motors Motorama show car that bore Corvette-like design cues, especially the grille. Painted emerald green metallic, with a white interior, the Impala featured hardtop styling. It is not known to have survived. Claire McKitchen's design team, along with designers from Pontiac, started to establish basic packaging and dimensions for their shared 1958 General Motors A-body in June. The first styling sketch that would directly influence the finished Chevrolet product caught the eye of General Motors styling vice president Harley Earl in October. 7 months later, the basic design was worked out. First generation. The Impala was introduced in 1958, positioned as top-of-the-line Bel Air coupes and convertibles. From the windshield pillar rearward, the 1958 Chevrolet Bel Air Impala differed structurally from typical Chevrolets. Hardtops had a slightly shorter greenhouse and longer rear deck, giving the impression of an extended body. The wheelbase of the Impala was longer than the lower-priced models, although the overall length was identical. It was a change from the 1955 Euro 1957 shape, which, in turn, was a substantial move away from the conservative Chevrolets of past years, a Euro longer, lower, and wider than its predecessors. The sharp tail fins of the 1957 gave way to deeply sculptured rear fenders. 3 taillights each side would become an Impala hallmark, whereas lesser models had 2 and wagons just 1. Special crossed flag insignias sat above the side moldings, plus bright rocker moldings and dummy rear fender scoops. 1958 was the first year of dual headlamps. Underneath this new body was a new chassis. The standard perimeter type frame was abandoned, replaced by a unit with rails laid out in the form of an elongated X. Chevrolet claimed that the new frame offered increased torsional rigidity and allowed for a lower, yet still roomy passenger compartment. In this design, a transitional step between traditional construction and the later fully unitized body chassis, the body structure was beefed up in a number of areas to create a solid package. However, this frame was not as effective in protecting the interior structure in a side impact crash, as a traditional perimeter frame. With a 6-cylinder engine, a Chevrolet Bel Air Impala started at $2,586, while $2,693 bought a V8. In all, 55,989 convertibles and 125,480 sport coupes were built, 15% of production. Interiors held a 2-spoke steering wheel and color-keyed door panels with brushed aluminum trim. No other series included a convertible. Impala signaled Chevrolet's entry into the mid-price field, even if the design was less radical than planned. In addition to style and vigorous performance, advertisements marketed its quick, eager-to-please handling that lets you know you're the boss. New for 1957, ramjet fuel injection continued to be available as an option for the turbofire 283 V8. 1958 Impalas equipped with this option are rare and highly desirable as collector cars. Longer, lower, and wider a recurrent all Chevrolets had either a full coil or air ride suspension, displacing the old rear leaf springs. A new safety girder X-type frame reduced height without headroom loss. A 283 Acclaim engine was now the standard V8, with ratings that ranged from 185 to 290 horsepower. A big block 348 Acclaim turbo-thrust V8 was a new engine option, descended from a truck engine, producing 250 HP, 280 HP, or 315 HP. The 1958 Chevrolet Bel Air Impala helped Chevrolet regain the #1 production spot in this recession year. Second generation. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala was radically reworked. Sharing body shells with lower-end Buicks and Oldsmobiles as well as with Pontiac, part of a Graham economy move, Chevrolets rode a wheelbase 1-1 over 2 inches longer than before. Atop a new X-frame chassis, roofs sat 3 inches lower, and bodies measured more than 2 inches wider overall. The growing size contributed to increased curb weight, one more trend of the times. Its tail fins protruded outward, rather than upward. Auto tester Tom McCahill, of Mechanics Illustrated, declared that a Chevrolet's deck lid had enough room to land a Piper Cub. Chevrolet replaced the triple tail light rear style this year with a very large, single teardrop tail light at each side. Impala was now a separate series, including a 4-door hardtop and 4-door sedan, as well as the 2-door Sport Coupe and convertible. Sport Coupes featured a shortened roofline and wrap-over back window, promising a virtually unlimited rear view to complement the car's new compound curved windshield. The hardtop Sport Sedan had a huge, pillar-free back window and flying wing roofline. Base V8 was the carryover 283 Acclaim, at 185 HP horsepower. Performance fans could select 280 Acclaim outputs to 290 HP a or turn to the big block 348 Acclaim V8 up to 315 HP. With a V8, the Impala convertible listed at $2,967, but a 6-cylinder version saved the customer $118. Impala interiors flaunted their top-of-the-line status, offering front and rear armrests, an electric clock, dual sliding sun visors, and crank-operated front venter panes. A contoured instrument panel held deep-set gauges, residing below hoods to prevent glare. A Fluxomatic 6-way power seat was a new option, as was Speedminder, a device that allowed the driver to set a needle at a specific speed. A buzzer would sound if he exceeded this preset speed. The 1960 models created a more conservative look than was seen on the 1959 models and was simply toned down a bit. Stylists and marketers realized that the fin and chrome fashion had about run its course and decided to shift direction, creating a more conservative facelift. The effect was helped by reinstating 3 modestly sized round tail lights on each side of the top-of-the-line Impala. At the front, the nostril air intakes above the headlights were deleted completely. More abundantly chromed than Bel Airs or Biscaynes, Impalas found buyers more easily, with more than 490,000 built. Impalas displayed non-functional air intake scoops, plus a white band running along the rear fender. 4 body styles were offered: hardtop Sport Sedan, Sport Coupe, Convertible Coupe, and 4-door sedan. The Impala Convertible Coupe at $2,847 led the line. Drivetrain choices were slightly reduced to 7 V8s in 283 Acclaim or 348 Acclaim size. Top choice was the 348 Acclaim Super Turbo Thrust Special, breathing through triple 2-barrel carburetors and using 11.251 compression and dual exhausts to produce 335 HP. More modest versions of the 348 yielded 250 to 320 HP. The carbureted turbofire 283 Acclaim V8 could have either 170 or 230 HP. Fuel injection was no longer an option on full-size Chevrolets. New to the options list was speed and cruise control, the first time such a device was offered on a low-price automobile. Right-hand drive cars were made in Oshawa, Canada, for New Zealand, Australia and South Africa and assembled locally from CKD or SKD kits. The right-hand drive dashboard was a mirror image of the 1959 Chevrolet panel and shared with equivalent right-hand drive Pontiac models. Australian models were assembled by hand on the GMH Holden assembly lines. Third generation. The Impala was restyled on the GMB platform for the first time in 1961. The new body styling was more trim and boxy than the 1958-1960 models. Sport coupe models featured a bubble-back roofline style for 1961, and a unique model, the two-door pillared sedan, was available for 1961 only. It was rarely ordered and a scarce collectible today. The rare Super Sport option debuted for 1961. This was also the last year the top station wagon model would bear the Nomad name. Power brakes were $43. The 1962 model featured new C-pillar styling for all models except the four-door hardtop. Sport coupe models now featured the convertible roof styling, shared with other GMB full-size hardtop coupes. This style proved extremely popular, and contributed to the desirability of the 1962-1964 Impalas as collectibles. The overhang roof style of the sedans was replaced with a more attractive, wider C-pillar with wraparound rear window. Engine choices for 1962 settled down, the 348 cubic inch V8 discontinued and replaced by the 380 brake horsepower 409 cubic inch 409 bhp 409 cubic inch engine. These engines could only be ordered with a manual shift transmission. The small block 283 was offered with a two-barrel carburetor. The 283 was also enlarged to 327 cubic inches, offered in two versions, one with 250 brake horsepower and one with 300 brake horsepower, which added more engine choices for small block fans. The Beach Boys produced a hit single, 409, referring to the Chevrolet, which became an iconic song for these cars. Impalas again featured premium interior appointments, plusher seats, and more chrome trim outside, including a full-width aluminum and chrome panel to house the triple-unit taillight assembly. Super Sport models featured that panel in a special engine-turned aluminum, which was also used to fill the side moldings, making the SS more distinctive in appearance. Impala also gains the top station wagon after the Chevrolet Nomad is gone. Due to reliability problems, the optional Turbo Glide automatic transmission was discontinued, leaving Power Glide the only automatic transmission available until 1965. A new radio was optional. Among collectors, the 1963 Impala is the most popular for its body style, though it was mechanically almost identical to the 1962 model. The 1963 Impala's distinctive body style had crisp lines with pointed front and rear fenders that emphasized the long, low style of car design popular in the early 1960s. The rear tail light panel was aluminum, and was surrounded by a chrome border with the engine-turned surface on SS models. Engine choice was similar to J1962, with the small block 283 and 327 cubic inch V8s the most popular choices. The Sport Sedan featured a new, creased roofline that proved popular. A new coved instrument panel was attractive, but replaced the temperature gauge with simple indicator lights for hot and cold engine conditions. An optional factory tachometer was built into the dashboard, just above the steering wheel. It was rarely ordered, but gave the Super Sport models an extra feel of sportiness. For 1964, the Impala was slightly restyled, reverting to a more rounded, softer look. The signature taillight assembly had an upside-down U-shaped aluminum trim strip above the taillights, but the individual lights were surrounded by a body-colored panel. The 409 cubic inch returned as the big block option, as well as the 2x4 carburetor setup for the 425 horsepower motors. SS models continued to feature the engine-turned aluminum trim. Rooflines were carried over from 1963 unchanged. backup lights were standard. Right-hand drive cars were made at GM's Oshawa plant in Canada and often shipped overseas in kit form for assembly in South Africa and New Zealand. The RHD cars are Euro Chevrolet or equivalent Pontiac and a Euro all used a right-hand drive version of the left-hand drive 1961 Pontiac dashboard. Fourth generation. Totally redesigned in 1965, the Impala set an all-time industry annual sales record of more than 1 million units in the U.S., which has never been bettered. All new full-size Chevrolets eschewed the X-frame for a full-width perimeter frame, a new body which featured curved, frameless side glass, sharper angled windshield with newly reshaped vent windows, and redesigned full-coil suspension. In 1965 Chevrolet introduced the Impala Caprice, exclusively as a four-door hardtop. Caprices received unique tufted upholstery, with grained accents on the dashboard and specialty pulls on the insides of the doors. This halo model also featured the spinner wheel covers from the Impala SS, with the SS logo centers replaced by a Chevrolet Boaty emblem. The Super Sports blackout rear trim strip below the triple tail lights was also used, with the Impala SS emblem deleted of course. The Caprice Custom was reintroduced as the Chevrolet Caprice in 1966, taking the top position in the full-size Chevrolet lineup. Engine choices included the inline six-cylinder as well as the famous Chevrolet small block and big block V8s. Automatic buyers were given the option of the newly introduced 3-range turbo-hydromatic transmission for the newly introduced Mark IV big block engine, displacing 396 cubic inches. The old 409 cubic inch W engine was discontinued early in the 1965 model year, so early production 1965's got the 409, as well as 0.1% had the 396 CID big block. Moreover, other later built cars had the 396 cubic inches the big block option with significant horsepower drawback. 2-range powerglide, as well as synchro-mesh 3 and 4-speed manual transmissions were available. As with previous years, Impalas featured more chrome trim inside and out, with pleated tufted upholstery and door panels. The Impala would be the number 2 selling convertible in the U.S. in 1966, with 38,000 sold. It was beaten by the Mustang by almost 2-1. The 1967 model was redesigned with enhanced Coke bottle styling which featured Corvette-inspired front and rear fender bulges. The curves were the most pronounced with the 1967 and Euro 1968 models. In keeping with federal regulations, safety features were built into Impalas during the 1967 and 1968 model years, including a fully collapsible energy-absorbing steering column, side marker lights, and shoulder belts for closed models. A black 1967 Sport Sedan four-door hardtop was used in the television series Supernatural, and as such, this model has seen a substantial increase in value to collectors. The 1968 model was facelifted with a new front end, the new rear bumper housed triple horseshoe-shaped taillights. 1968 also saw a new Impala model, the Custom Coupe. This two-door hardtop featured the same formal roofline as the Caprice Coupe. It was a huge commercial success and would be continued right through 1976. By 1969, the muscular Coke bottle styling had become past a copyright for full-size Chevrolets. The 1969 Impala and other full-sized Chevrolets got new slab-sided bodies with a small upsweep at the rear quarter window, giving them a more formal appearance. The emphasis was clearly on making the Impala look bigger, even though it retained the 119-inch wheelbase from previous models. New front bumpers that wrapped around the grille and horizontal tail lights in the rear bumper made it look wider. Ventless front windows were used on all models. Chevrolet had a rudimentary power vent system featuring vents in the instrument panel, but it wasn't the pressurized system that became standard on all 1971 big GM cars. The vent windows are provided excellent ventilation at highway speeds, but at the expense of wind noise. Eliminating them saved money on each car produced, kept the interiors quieter at highway speeds, and no doubt encouraged more check marks on the order sheets for the high-profit air conditioning systems that were becoming increasingly popular. the ignition switch was moved from the instrument panel to the steering column, and when the key was removed, the steering wheel and shift lever were locked. All 1969 Grams cars except the Caprice got this change, 1 year ahead of federal regulations. The hardtop Sport Coupe got a new, crisply styled notchback roofline, replacing the fastback C-pillar from 1967 to 1968. During the 1969 model year, Impala production topped Caprice production by 611,000 units. Impala station wagons were renamed Kingwood, a name which would continue through 1972. The similar 1970 Impala got a minor facelift featuring a more conventional under-the-grille bumper replacing the wraparound unit used in 1969 along with new triple vertical tail lights in the rear bumper. Canadian buyers got the choice of a lower-priced companion to the Impala Sport Coupe, the Bel Air Sport Coupe, which used the same body but featured Bel Air trim. Right-hand drive cars were manufactured in Canada for export to countries such as Australia, the United Kingdom, etc., until 1969. They used a version of the 1965 Impala-Painter without provision for a radio and installed in a dashboard molding made of fiberglass, not metal until 1969. Radios and heaters were locally sourced and wipers parked in the center of the windscreen. Australian models were assembled in Australia from kits, as this lessened tax on the cars. The Australian cars had locally sourced amber flashing rear indicators replacing the clear reversing lenses, as red flashes were banned there. For New Zealand assembly, the bodies were supplied from Canada already welded, painted and trimmed. Impala SS. In 1961, the Impala SS was introduced to the market. The SS badge was to become Chevrolet's signature of performance on many models, though it often has been an appearance package only. The Impala's SS package in 1961 was truly a performance package, beginning with the 348 cubic-inch V8 engines available with 305 horsepower, 340 horsepower, and 350 horsepower, or the new 409 cubic-inch V8, which was available with up to 425 horsepower. Unlike all other years, the 1961 Super Sport package was available on any Impala, including sedans and station wagons. The package also included upgraded tires on station wagon wheels, springs, shocks and special sintered metallic brake linings. Only 142 1961 Impala Super Sports came from the factory with the 409, making it a most rare and desirable collectible. Starting for the 1962 model year, the Impala SS was an appearance package limited to hardtop coupe and convertible coupe models, available with all engines in the Impala series starting with a base 235 cubic-inch, 135 horsepower inline-six through 1967, though the big block engines and heavy-duty parts could still be ordered. From 1967 to 1969, an additional model, the SS 427, was available. The Super Sport was known as Regular Production Option Z03, from 1962 to 1963, and again in 1968. From 1964 through 1967, the Super Sport was a separate model, with its own van prefix. Super Sports from 1962 to 1964 came with engine-turned aluminum trim, which was replaced by a blackout trim strip in 1965 which ran under the taillights. 1965 Super Sport exteriors differed only slightly from regular Impalas. Rocker panel trim was deleted. Super Sport scripts replaced the Impala SS badges. The new center console housed a rally-type electric clock, and full instrumentation now included a vacuum gauge. A total of 243,114 Impala SS coupes and convertibles were built for 1965. The 1966 Impala SS was facelifted with a revised grille and new rectangular taillights that replaced the triple round units. A chrome beltline strip shared with regular Impalas was added in response to complaints about dowdings on the clean-lined 1965s. Inside were new Strato bucket seats with thinner and higher seat backs, and a center console with an optional gauge package available. Sales of the 1966 Impala SS dropped by more than 50% to around 117,000 units. This was mainly due to the sport performance car market switching from full-sized models to intermediates, along with the emerging market for the even smaller pony car market created by the Ford Mustang in 1964 that Chevrolet would respond to with a camera for 1967. The 1967 Impala SS was less decorated than other Impalas. Super Sports had black grille accents and black accented body side and rear fender moldings. Lesser models leaned more toward bright work inside and out. Buyers could choose either vinyl bucket seats with a center console, or a strato bench seat with a fold-down center armrest. Standard wheel covers were the same as the optional full covers on other big Chevrolets, but the centers featured the SS logo surrounded by tricolor ring of red, white and blue. Chevrolet and Impala callouts on the body were all replaced by attractive Impala SS badges. Of the 76,055 Impala SS models built, just 2,124 were ordered with a POZ24, a special performance package that included RPO F41 heavy-duty suspension and other performance goodies, RPO L36 turbojet 427 cubic inch V8, as well as a special trim package that replaced the Impala SS badges with large SS427 emblems on the front grille and rear trim. The Z24 package also included a special hood with fake chrome-plated intake. Only about 400 Super Sports had a six-cylinder engine from 1967 to 1968, 390 brake horsepower in 1969, or L72, from 1968 to 1969. Special SS427 badging, inside and out, was the rule, but few were sold, since muscle car enthusiasts were seeking big block intermediates, such as the Chevrolet SS396 and Plymouth Roadrunner. In 1968, as Caprice sales escalated, those of the Impala Super Sport suffered a decline. Much of this drop in sales was no doubt due to the availability of big block engines in the mid-sized Chevelle, and even Novas could be special ordered with the 396 engine with a new for 1968 body. No longer a separate series, the Super Sport was a mere $179 option package for the two Impala coupes and the convertible. Only 38,210 Impalas were so equipped, including 1,778 with the Z24 package, which was carried over from 1967. In 1968 only, SS427s could be ordered without the Z03 SS package, which meant SS427 equipment but no bucket seats, SS door panels, or center console. The Z03 Impala SS could be identified by Impala Super Sport badges on the front grille, rear fenders and trunk lid. Z24 optioned cars included SS427 emblems to replace the Impala Super Sport badges, a special layered pancake hood, and three gills mounted on the front fender after the wheel well a La Corvette Stingray. Because of their rarity, Z24 cars command a much higher price on the collector car market today. Although many owners tried to clone regular Impalas into SS427s, the unavailability of the special hoods and other trim items makes this a difficult process to successfully execute. In 1969, the Impala SS was available only as the Z24, coming exclusively with a 427 cubic inch V8 of 335 brake horsepower, 390 brake horsepower, or 425 brake horsepower. This was the final year for the Impala SS until 1994. The 1969 Impala SS was often considered a sleeper in that there was no distinctive SS badging inside the car except for an SS logo, the steering wheel, and a true 1969 Z24 optioned car is the rarest and most collectible of any year with this package available. Like the 1968s, the Z24 could be ordered on the Impala convertible, Sport Coupe, or Custom Coupe. 1969 was the last year that the Impala SS was offered with the Z24 package, but the only year in which front disc brakes and 15-inch wheels were standard. That made the 1969 SS427 mechanically better than the previous versions in standard form. Therefore, the potential buyer of an advertised 1969 SS427 that has 14-inch wheels and or drum brakes in front, would be aware that such a car may not be an authentic Z24 original. Although sales of 1969 Z24 optioned Impalas increased to approximately 2,455 units from the 1,778 Z03 optioned units of 1968, and high-powered big-block V8 engines continued to be available, there would be no Impala SS for 1970. The 427 was also replaced on the engine offerings list by a new turbojet 454 producing 390 HP for 1970. The 1965 Euro 1970 Grams B platform is the fourth best-selling automobile platform in history after the Volkswagen Beetle, Ford Model T and the Lada Riva. Fifth generation. The Impala remained Chevrolet's top-selling model with the fifth generation. A high-performance big-block V8 was still available in the form of the turbojet 454, which produced 365 HP in 1971, but power decreased as the years went along. The 1971 redesigned B-body would be the largest car ever offered by Chevrolet. The hardtop Sport Coupe continued to be offered. It was a smoothly sloped semi-fastback reminiscent of the 1961 bubble-top styling. A 3-speed manual transmission remained standard at the beginning of the year, but in the spring of 1971 all V8-equipped full-size GM cars got turbo-hydromatic as standard equipment. Interestingly, Powerglide remained optionally available for 6-cylinder cars until the 1973 models. In keeping with their huge size, these new B-body Chevrolets were close to Cadillac in luxury features, styling, and ride. No doubt many were confused upon seeing a 1971 Impala for the first time, thinking it was a Cadillac Eldorado. The 1972 model introduced a grille which extended below the bumper. Powertrains consisted of mostly V8 engines. The 250 inline-six was still standard for Sport Coupe and four-door sedan models. The 352 barrels V8 became the standard engine from 1973 Euro 1976, with 350 cubic inches, 400 cubic inches, 402 cubic inches or 454 cubic inches. The best-selling body style was the Custom Coupe. Beginning in 1972, all engines were designed to run on unleaded gasoline. 1972 saw the last Impala convertible. It sold 6,456 copies, placing fourth with just under 9% of the market, right behind the Corvette 6508, ahead of the Mustang 6401. 1973 Chevrolets featured a larger, shock-absorbing front bumper due to new federal mandates which required 5 mph impact protection. New taillights were mounted in the conventional rear bumper. This was the first year of the Caprice Classic convertible. Tweaks to the suspension and frame gave better roadability, according to Chevrolet General Manager John Z. DeLorean. Steering wheels and instrument panels were color-keyed to interior colors, as opposed to the matte black used in 1971 Euro 1972. The inline six-cylinder engine was now offered on the Bel Air four-door sedan only, and only with a 3-speed manual transmission. Interiors had repositioned front seats for more legroom. The Impala name returned for the Kingwood station wagon. In 1974, the rear bumper was redesigned with shock absorbers to meet the upgraded standards and new tail lights were featured. The front end was also freshened as in previous years, with a new grille and headlight bezels, a new header panel, and a bumper with a drop-down center section. The marker lights moved back up beside the headlamps once again. This was the only year of the 1971 Euro 1976 models the Impala had a different front-end design than the Caprice Classic, as other years used either a grille insert or previous year Caprice front to distinguish the two. The rooflines of the Impala coupes were also revised. For 1974 the Custom Coupe was no longer a hardtop, with large fixed rear quarter glass and a thick B-pillar. The Sport Coupe, still a pillar-less hardtop, now used larger roll-down quarter glass like that of the 1971 Euro 1973 Custom Coupe, and had a narrower, fastback style, flat-back window. Sedans used carry-over body shells from previous years. A limited edition Spirit of America package was offered in 1974 on Sport Coupe models. Primarily an appearance package, it featured white or blue body paint, a white full vinyl top, white upholstery with red or blue trim, color-keyed seat belts and floor mats, special wheel covers, optional white rally wheels, sports-style dual remote outside rear view mirrors, a vinyl body side molding insert, and red pinstriping. Special fender and dashboard badges announced the package to passers-by and passengers. Chevrolet also offered Nova and Vega Spirit of America versions as well. The 1975 Impala used a 1974 carried-over Caprice front end, with a grille insert and emblem change. The Caprice model was revised with a new front end with a swept-back style header panel with recessed headlight buckets, a new hood, and new fenders. Also in 1975 upholstery, door panels and the dashboard were revised as were the radio and climate control graphics. Speedometers read up to 100 miles per hour, and added kilometers per hour. A high-energy ignition system was officially introduced in 1975, although it was installed on some 1974 cars as a clandestine option. Catalytic converters were also introduced, as were several new options, including an economizer gauge package, intermittent wipers, and a divided 50/50 bench seat with passenger side recliner, with a choice of sport cloth or vinyl trim. This was the final year of the full-size Chevrolet convertible. Four-door models got new rooflines. The hardtop Sport Sedan got a small triangular opera window carved out of the wide roof panel. A Landau model available for 1975 or 1976 models featured a Landau vinyl roof, a choice of special paint colors, sports-style dual remote outside rear view mirrors, color-keyed wheel covers, a vinyl body side molding insert, and pinstriping. Inside were color-keyed seat belts and floor mats. Fender and dashboard emblems rounded out the package. The two-door hardtop model was discontinued after 1975, leaving redesigned Custom Coupe, with its wide B-pillar and fixed rear window, the only two-door Impala available in 1976. This body style had been introduced for the 1974 model year, a precursor to Detroit's complete abandonment of pillarless body styles before the end of the 70s. 1976 Impalas used a previous year Caprice nose, with a new A-crate grille insert. The Impala had round headlamps while the Caprice used the new quad rectangular ones. Engines, inline 6, 235 Acclaim Blue Flame, 1958 a Euro 1962, 230 Acclaim 140 a BHP Turbo Thrift, 1963 a Euro 1965, 250 Acclaim 155 a BHP Turbo Thrift, 1966 a Euro 1969, 250 Acclaim 155 a BHP Turbo Thrift, 1977 a Euro 1979, 90 a Degree V6, 229 Acclaim, RPOLC3. 115 a BHP 1980, small block V8, 283 Acclaim 195 to 220 a BHP Turbo Fire, 1957 a Euro 1967, 307 Acclaim 200 a BHP Turbo Fire, 1968, 327 Acclaim 235 to 375 a BHP Turbo Fire, 1961 a Euro 1969, 350 Acclaim 250 to 350 a BHP Turbo Fire. 1969 a Euro 1980, 400 Acclaim 255 to 265 a BHP Turbo Fire, 1970 a Euro 1976, big block V8, 348 Acclaim 250 to 350 a BHP W Series Turbo Thrust, 1958 a Euro 1961, 409 Acclaim 340 to 425 a BHP W Series Turbo Thrust, mid-1961 to early 1965, 396 Acclaim 265 to 425 a BHP Turbojet, mid-1965 to 1969, 427 Acclaim 335 to 425 a BHP Turbojet, 1966 a Euro 1969, 454 Acclaim 345 to 390 a BHP Turbojet, 1970 a Euro 1976. Sixth generation. The changes in the automobile marketplace resulted in Chevrolet redesigning the Impala once again in 1977 to meet changing demands. The new downsized Impalas were shorter in length, taller and narrower than before. The new Impala's frame was a shortened version of the one introduced in 1971 and would be utilized until 1996 when the B-body production line was shut down. Even with its trimmer exterior dimensions, the new Impala featured increased headroom, rear seat legroom and trunk space. Production of the downsized model increased substantially over 1976, and the Impala gained the #1 U.S. sales position. The redesigned 1977 Impala Caprice was named Motor Trend's Car of the Year. The new body was taller and narrower than the 1976 model. Pillarless hardtops were discontinued, the result of rumors of federal rollover standards looming in the near future. The 1977 Euro 1979 Coupe sported a double-bent tempered rear window similar to the 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlo Aurora Coupe. In 1980, all new sheet metal was used, although the body style remains similar. Engine availability was reduced in 1977. The inline-six was reintroduced with 110 horsepower. Options included 267 and 305 cubic-inch V8 engines. The 350 cubic-inch V8 engine was optional in some years. Oldsmobile's 350 cubic-inch V8 diesel engine also was available. Starting in 1980, the inline-six was replaced by a generic 229 cubic-inch V6, originally from Buick but installed in numerous GM models of different divisions. The Impala and the upscale Caprice sold well into the early 1980s. The Impala was reduced to the base model full-size Chevrolet and was popular with fleet usage Euro including taxi and police pursuit vehicles, but was discontinued in 1985, while the Caprice continued unchanged until 1990. Upon the demise of the Impala, the base model full-size Chevrolet was rebranded Caprice starting in 1986, with the upper models being called the Caprice Classic and Caprice Classic Brougham. Seventh generation, in 1991, the GMB platform was extensively redesigned, though it retained the same shortened frame design of the 1977 redesign. The Impala SS badge was resurrected at the 1992 Detroit Auto Show as a concept car designed by GM designer John Moss. The concept car was 2 inches lower to the ground than the regular Caprice, and was powered by an 8.2-liter engine. Eventually, the concept car's engine was replaced with a 5.7-liter engine derived from the Corvette in order to show the public what would be offered if put into production. V8 was eventually put into the engine bay of the prototype years later. The 1994 Impala SS went into production on February 14, 1994 at GM's plant in Arlington, Texas, and was almost identical cosmetically to the concept car, the only noticeable change being the chromed Boaty logo on the grille. The car was, in essence, a high-performance version of the Caprice. From a mechanical standpoint, it used the Caprice 9C1 police package as its base and as such got most of the equipment formerly available only to law enforcement and government agencies. This included a sport-tuned suspension with reinforced shocks and springs, a high-capacity reverse flow cooling system, larger four-wheel disc brakes, transmission cooler, dual exhaust, a higher output electrical system, and other minor mechanical alterations. Not all of the police equipment was carried over however, as the Impala SS did not get the external oil-to-air engine oil cooler, nor were all the body mounts secured, although both are popular aftermarket additions to the Impala SS by their owners. The Impala SS was uniquely fitted with a standard 3.08 gear. The limited slip rear differential was standard and the suspension was an inch lower. A retuned LT1 5.7-liter small block V8 was standard on the Impala SS, making 260 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque rating. The primary difference between the LT1 in the Impala and the LT1 that was in the Corvette and Camaro was that the Impala engine was fitted with cast-iron cylinder heads instead of aluminum ones, and a camshaft that was designed more for low-end torque than high-end horsepower. Another difference was that the block casting for the Impala LT1 had 2 bolt main bearing caps while the casting used for the Corvette LT1 had 4 bolt main bearing caps. The transmission used in the car was the 4L60E, which was an electronically controlled version of the previously hydraulically controlled 4L60. However, the transmission was not beefed up for the power of the LT1, and transmission failures after 100,000 miles were commonplace. A manual transmission was never available in the 1994–1996 Impala SS. However, there is a growing trend of replacing the 4L60E transmission with the T56 from the Camaro and Firebird using aftermarket kits. Alternatively, a popular enhancement was the addition of a shift kit and/or a more aggressive torque converter. Several other cars in the BD body line also shared a similar powertrain. These were the Chevrolet Caprice, Buick Roadmaster, and the D-body Cadillac Fleetwood, which all shared the LT1 engine and 4L60E automatic transmission. Cosmetically, the Impala SS received body color trim, which helped reduce the sometimes bloated look of the standard Caprice, a unique single-bar grille with no hood ornament and a rear deck spoiler. It was fitted with 17-inch brushed aluminum wheels with 255/50 ZR17 all-season Z-rated tires. Inside, the car came with a central console with cup holders and a storage compartment, leather seats embroidered with the Impala SS logo, and a standard leather-wrapped steering wheel. For the 1994 model year, it was available only in black with a grey interior. Due to a shortage of the unique 5-spoke aluminum wheels, only 6,303 cars were sold. However, the wheel shortage was remedied for the 1995 model year and 21,434 cars were sold. In 1995, dark cherry metallic and dark grey-green were added as exterior color options, and the body paneling on the rear quarter panel was altered to reflect the cosmetic effect formerly achieved by a window insert. Another change from 1994 was the placement of the side mirrors from pods attached to the door to a larger format attached to the A-pillar. 1996 was the last year of production with 41,941 units sold. The 1996 Impala SS production went late into the model year, the last one being produced on December 13, 1996. It saw minor interior alterations, with the digital speedometer being replaced by an analog one, along with a tachometer. The shifter was moved from the column to the center console, and the engine was given an OBDII computer control system. Special ceremony: a special ceremony was held at the plant on December 13, 1996 for MG Pinky Randall, a Chevrolet collector from Horton Lake, Michigan, who bought the last Impala SS. When Randall drove the car with the dark cherry metallic paint off the line, he was accompanied by County Judge Tom Vandergriff in the front passenger seat. In the back seat were Ma Richard Green, plant manager Herb Stone and Lonnie Morgan, president of United Auto Workers Local 276, which represents about 1,900 of the plant's 2,100 employees. "I didn't think this last car would get publicity like this," said Randall, 69. The Impala becomes the 46th vehicle in Randall's Chevrolet collection. Discontinuation: the entire B-body line, consisting of the Chevrolet Caprice, Impala SS, and Buick Roadmaster, was discontinued by General Motors, as GM wanted more assembly lines to be able to produce more profitable SUVs. Another fact was that the Caprice was the only B-body with a market share since fleet sales to law enforcement outnumbered sales of all other B-bodies. Eighth generation: the Impala name was resurrected for the 2000 model year as the High-Mid program to replace the Lumina. Based on the Lumina's W-body platform, it was built at Washawa Car Assembly in Washawa, Ontario, Canada. Unlike the earlier Impalas built on a B-body, this one was front-wheel drive and was available with a choice of two 3.8L V6 engines, and slightly smaller 3.4L V6 engine. A new Impala SS with a supercharged V6 was brought out for the 2004 model year. The Impala was available in two trim levels from 2000 to 2003. The base model came equipped with cloth bench seats, steel wheels, the 180 horsepower 3.4-liter LA1 V6, and a 3-gauge instrument cluster. The LS came factory-equipped with cloth bucket seats upgradable to leather with center console and floor shift, color-keyed Impala door scripts and trunk badge, anti-lock brakes, traction control system, keyless remote entry, integrated fog lamps, aluminum wheels upgradable to alloy wheels, rear spoiler, 4-gauge instrument cluster, and the larger 200 horsepower 3.8-liter L36 V6. Options available on all models included a sunroof, OnStar system, driver information center with built-in home link system, heated power front seats, and 16-inch 1990s SS-inspired wheels. All models came equipped with power windows, door locks and mirrors. The rear spoiler was an option on base models, and could be deleted from LS models upon buyer's request. The 2004 to 2005 Impala SS came equipped with a 3.8-liter supercharged L67 V6 engine. It was rated at 240 horsepower and had been previously used in the Pontiac Grand Prix GTP, Buick Regal GS, Buick Riviera, and H-body Pontiac Bonneville SSEI and Buick Park Avenue Ultra. The lightweight front-wheel drive sedan was actually quicker than the vaunted 1990s Impala SS, with 0–60 mph times pushing 6.5 seconds, compared to the earlier model's time of 7.1 seconds. To commemorate Chevrolet's long relationship with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indianapolis 500 race, a limited edition Impala Indy SS was offered in 2004, featuring black grille with gold Chevrolet Boaty emblem that would be carried over to all Impala models in 2005, various Indy logos on the exterior and interior, 17-inch chrome wheels, gauge cluster package, and more. Impala 9C1 and 9C3. Also released with this version were the Police Package first released in 2000 and Undercover Police Package first released in 2001, named 9C1 and 9C3, respectively. Available only to law enforcement agencies, fire departments, and EMS agencies, it has had more success than its predecessor, the Lumina 9C3. The 9C1 was a base model with a stronger suspension and the 3.8-liter V6 engine. It was only available in a few basic colors. Another addition was the SUV mode switch that replaced the fog light switch found on the LS. This enabled the driver to turn off all lights in the vehicle and hide. Something not allowed with the civilian models, as automatic headlights was standard. The 9C3 was comparably equipped to the 9C1, but the ability to add other convenience options and more paint and interior choices set the 9C3 apart. Ninth generation, the 2006 Impala was introduced at the 2005 Los Angeles Auto Show. Like the Buick LaCrosse, this model uses the updated GMW platform. The base engine is a 3.5-liter V6 producing 211 lhp and 214 lb-ft of torque at 4,000 rpms. The new Impala features new taillights, different from the four-circle style of the previous generation. The most notable news about the model, though, is the SS model's use of the Generation 4 small block V8 in a front-wheel drive Chevrolet for the first time, and the first V8 in a Chevrolet sedan since the 1996 Caprice. The new 5.3-liter V8 produces 303 horsepower. With the use of the 5.3-liter LS4 V8, the Impala SS is capable of a 5.6-second 0–60 mph time and a quarter-mile time of 14.2 seconds traveling at 101 miles per hour. The car is 200.4 inches long, 58.7 inches high, and 72.9 inches wide. Available trim levels are LS, LT, LTZ, and the aforementioned SSLS became the base model. 6-passenger seating was only available as an option on the LS and LT models. Leather upholstery was standard on LTZ models and optional on LT models. The interior has been completely redesigned. The 2006 Impala featured a wood-trim center console with chrome accents on all major control buttons. The dashboard featured a chrome Impala logo embedded in the wood grain trim that runs across the front of the vehicle and onto the doors. The new control knobs found throughout the vehicle's cockpit are similar to those found in the new Buick models as well as the Cadillac DTS, all of which feature a similar center console. Another interior revision is the location of the cup holders, which are now concealed beneath the midsection of the vehicle's center console. The LS was the base model. It offered steel wheels with wheel covers, an AM/FM stereo with single-disc CD player, auxiliary input jack, and 6 speakers, keyless entry, air conditioning, cloth seating surfaces, and your choice of 2 front bucket or a single front bench seat. The LT was the mid-range model. It offered alloy wheels, MP3 playback capabilities, and optional front heated seats. The LTZ was the most luxurious model. It offered leather seating surfaces that were heated, an AM/FM stereo with 6-disc CD MP3 changer in the dash and a Bose 8-speaker premium sound system, a power sunroof, security system, and OnStar. The SS was the top-of-the-line model until 2009. It offered a 5.3L V8 engine, leather and suede seating surfaces, 18-inch machined finished alloy wheels, and unique SS badging. Due to its unpopularity, the SS trim was discontinued in 2009, leaving the LTZ as the top-of-the-line model for 2010. In 2007, the Impala received the Flex Fuel 3.5-liter V6 and Flex Fuel rear badge for the LS, LT, LTZ, and Touring. A new 3.9-liter V6 with active fuel management was available. The SS retained the same drivetrain and did not receive the Flex Fuel feature due to the high-performance nature of the powertrain. A tire pressure monitoring system, cruise control and a CD player were standard on all models, and a factory spoiler was an available option. The LT had 16-inch, 5-spoke alloy wheels. The Generation 7 OnStar system with turn-by-turn navigation was included when the available directions and connections service was selected. The SS had standard leather-appointed seats and XM satellite radio, with XM being optional on LS, LT, and LTZ trims. A new luxury edition package featuring leather seating, folding rear seat, and rear spoiler was offered on the Lieutenant. There were 4 new exterior colors: Euro Precisions Red, Imperial Blue Metallic, Bordeaux Red, and Red Dual Tint Coat, as well as a Regency-outfitted Impala RSS. The RSS included aggressive wheels, front-rear bumper and rocker panel extensions, a spoiler and various interior upgrades. To commemorate the Impala's 50th year, a 50th anniversary edition was introduced in spring 2008. Based on the LT, it added FE3 sport suspension, 4-wheel ABS, 18-inch SS-style alloy wheels, rear SS-style spoiler, 50th anniversary Impala badges on the C-pillars, 2-tone, leather-trimmed seats with 50th logos embroidered on the front headrests, 8-way power-adjustable driver seat, leather-wrapped steering wheel with accent color threading including audio controls, ebony carpet, ebony floor mats with accent threading, 50th anniversary emblems on the sill plates and a choice of 2 premium exterior colors, black granite metallic and red dual tint coat. A luxury edition package was again available on the LT and now also featured leather-wrapped steering wheel mounted audio controls, traction control, and anti-lock brakes. For the 2009 model year, the Impala received 3 new exterior colors, Victory Red, Silver Ice Metallic, and Aqua Blue Metallic. The brushed aluminum dash applique was no longer available. All models used the previous SS-style spoiler. The Touring trim level was discontinued for 2009. Leather seating was no longer available in combination with the 40/40 split bench front seat. The active fuel management feature remained on the 5.3L V8 with a 17-gallon gas tank for the SS model, but was no longer available on 3.9L V6 for the LT and LTZ models. A sun and wheel package was available on 1 LT models, included power sunroof, overhead console with Homelink and 17-inch aluminum wheels. A Bose premium audio system was now part of the luxury edition package offered on LT models. Thorax side impact airbags were standard. For the 2010 model year, the Impala was the only GMW body car in production, although the 8-cylinder SS model was discontinued. LT models included fog lights and once again offered an optional luxury edition package. The 3.9L V6 was no longer available for the LT model. 3 new exterior colors were available: Summit White, Cyber Grey Metallic, and Aqua Blue Metallic, and 4 exterior colors were deleted. The convenience package, AM/FM stereo with 6-disc and CD changer, and trunk cargo net were no longer available. The Impala emblems on rear sail panels as well as the rear decklid badge on LS models were deleted. Early 10 models had the lower frontside GM badges but were also later deleted. For the 2011 model year, Impala returned in LS, LT, and LTZ trims. Available engines were a 3.5L V6 or a 3.9L V6. A luxury edition package was again an option on the LT and featured leather-heated seats, 6-way power front passenger seat, Bose premium audio system, XM radio, auto-dimming rear-view mirror, universal home remote, outside heated power mirrors, and rear spoiler. Impala 9C1 and 9C3. The 9C1 and 9C3 models were based on the LS model, yet offered steel wheels or steel wheels with wheel covers, optional rubber flooring, preparation for police equipment such as sirens, radios, and lighting, special badging, and inoperable rear door handles, windows, and door locks. It also came with the option for a rear vinyl bench seat and front cloth bucket or bench seats, both cloth front and rear seats, or vinyl front and rear seats. It also offered preparation for a criminal cage to be installed between the front and rear seats. The fog lamps seen on the LT, LTZ, and SS were optional in 2008 and stayed as an option until 2012, which did away with that option. The 9C1 and 9C3 also had the option of having the spoiler seen on the LT and LTZ until being replaced by the spoiler that is on the SS and other models in 2009. The police sedans received the Flex Fuel in 2008 feature to compete against the Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, which also received a similar feature allowing it to utilize E85. Also updated were the 9C1 and 9C3 trim levels for the police package models, which did not have the civilian SS's 303 horsepower V8 engine, but used the 3.9-litre V6. Police sedans utilized the SS radiator and cooling system as an upgrade from the standard 3.9-litre engine. GM did not wish to design a specific radiator and cooling system to equip a low-production V8 police vehicle. Also, the heavy-duty steel wheels were not redesigned, and as such, the police sedan used the original center caps or the older-style wheel covers from the 8th-generation model. The 9C1 and 9C3 were equipped with an external trunk lock tumbler starting in 2008. Neither feature was available for the civilian version of the car. The 9C1 and 9C3 police models had the standard wood grain for the 2006 model year until 2007, which was replaced by an aluminized interior trim. For the 2012 model year, both the 9C1 and 9C3 have different end caps where the fog lamps are on the LT and LTZ trims on the front end bumper, received 17-inch wheels with new wheel covers, and the same LFX V6 that powers the civilian Impala. The Caprice PPV will succeed the Impala 9C1 when it concludes production in 2016. Until then, the Caprice and 9C1 will be offered simultaneously. Facelift. For the 2012 model year, the exterior received a slight refresh in 4 trims, as standard Impala, LS, LT, and LTZ. The 3.5 and 3.9 engines were dropped in favor of a single, 3.6L LFX that delivers 302 HP and 252 lb-ft of torque. The 4-speed automatic transmission is also deleted in favor of a 6-speed automatic. The Impala also received new packages, including the LS Up-Level package, LS OnStar and Bluetooth package, Lieutenant Sunroof package, LT OnStar package and the LT OnStar and Bluetooth package. For the 2013 model year, the Impala was largely a carryover of the 2012 model. Available trims were once again LS, LT, and LTZ. It was the last retail Impala to be offered with optional bench seat and column shift transmission. A luxury edition package, last seen on the 2011 model, returned as an option on the LT and featured perforated leather seating surfaces, dual front heated bucket seats with driver's side 8-way and passenger's side 6-way power adjusters, inside rear view auto dimming mirror, universal home remote, outside heated power adjustable mirrors, Bose 8-speaker premium sound system, 6-disc and CD changer that played MP3 and WMA files, with radio data system, Sirius XM satellite radio, and iPod and USB inputs, as well as an auxiliary input. Due to the early release of the all-new 2014 model, the 2013 Impala had an abbreviated model year. Impala Limited, the 9th generation model, remains in production in LS, LT, and LTZ trim until 2016 as a rental, fleet, and police car only under the revised model name Impala Limited. The consolidated plant in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada will continue making the Impala Limited, along with the Chevrolet Equinox. 10th generation. The 10th generation Impala was introduced for the 2014 model year, with sales and production commencing March 4, 2013. It is the first American sedan in 20 years to earn Consumer Reports a Euro unregistered trademark top score, with a score of 95 of a possible 100 points. This new version, which was introduced at the New York Auto Show in April 2012, is larger and more upscale than the existing model to reduce price overlap between Impala and Malibu, similar to how the Ford Taurus and Ford Fusion are positioned in Ford's lineup. The current versions are being assembled in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, alongside the 9th generation Impala, and at the Detroit Hamtramck assembly in the United States. All cars will feature a 6-speed automatic transmission with sport and manual shifting modes. The 10th generation models were shipped to dealerships across North America on March 25, 2013, and officially went on sale to the public April 1, 2013. That same day regular production on the Impala began at the Oshawa plant, while production at GM's Detroit Hamtramck plant started production on April 8 and arrived to dealerships in May. The E-Assist versions went on sale in the fourth quarter of 2013. As of April 2014, the Impala have seen a surge in sales since the 10th generation's launch, capturing 14.7% of the competitive full-size sedan segment, up from 6.9% in 2013, making it one of Chevrolet's best-selling brands due to affordability, promotion, and winning recognition by automotive trades and websites. It also toppled its primary competitor, the Toyota Avalon, who fell from 17.8% in 2013 to 14.2% in 2014, making the Impala the top-selling full-size sedan in the United States. New features: 2014 model year standard 18-inch wheels, low-profile HID headlights and LED daytime running lights, 3 engine offerings including a 2.5L 4-cylinder, a 2.4L 4-cylinder with hybrid assist technology, and a 3.6L 6-cylinder, a 4.2-inch color display featuring Chevrolet MyLink, HD radio and Pandora radio, active noise cancellation for all 4-cylinder options, 10 standard airbags combined with OnStar. Optional features include full-speed range adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, Ford collision alert, lane departure warning, side blind zone alert, rear cross-traffic alert, rear camera and rear park assist. 2015 model year, Ford GLTE feature added to OnStar as an optional feature. Engines. 2015 B-Fuel. The 2015 Chevrolet Impala will run on CNG and gasoline. Unveiled in October 2013 by General Motors CEO Dan Akerson. The B-Fuel Impala will be offered to both fleet customers and retail. It is the only full-size CNG vehicle manufactured in North America. The new Impala will join the Honda Civic as a rare CNG car to come straight from a major automaker and available for retail sales. The 2015 Chevrolet Impala will have a 500-mile driving range. It will allow the driver to switch from gasoline to CNG or from CNG to gasoline at the push of a button. The CNG tank is placed in the trunk. Gallery. Safety. In the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's crash tests, the 2000 to 2005 Impala was given a good rating overall for good structural performance and no chance of any significant injury in a crash of its severity, except for maybe a minor lower left leg injury, such as a bruise or sprain. The 2006 to present Impala is given a lesser overall acceptable score for front impact collisions and a good score for side impacts. Side curtain airbags are standard for front and rear rows. Side torso airbags previously unavailable became standard on all trim levels beginning with the 2009 model year. GM made some minor structural enhancements to the Impala, beginning in December 2009. Models produced after that received a good in the IIHS frontal offset crash test. In September 2009, a local news station's investigative team in Rhode Island discovered that GM's fleet customers who purchased the 2006 Euro 2009 Impala were able to order them with the side curtain airbags deleted for a savings of $175 per vehicle. Because these fleets typically sell off their cars after 2 to 3 years of use, many of the Impalas that were built without side curtains have gone on to become privately owned cars. Current owners may be able to tell if their car has side airbags by checking the van and/or by checking to see if airbag is printed on the roof support between the front and back rows. Another potential safety hazard, affecting Impalas of model years 2007 and 2008, is premature rear tire wear caused by defective rear suspension components. Police vehicles were upgraded to correct this defect and law enforcement agencies were compensated for expenses incurred for tire replacement, but civilian vehicles were not recalled. As a result, Impala owners launched a class action lawsuit in July 2011 against General Motors. In response, the current General Motors leadership claimed about a month later that they are not responsible to repair the defective vehicles manufactured pre-General Motors bailout. Subsequently, in late September, a new lawsuit, disputing the GM response, was initiated by 3 of the estimated 400,000 Impala owners. On April 22, 2014, the NHTSA opened an investigation into 60,000 2014 Chevrolet Impala models over concerns relating to the sedan's emergency braking system. This comes after it received a complaint from a driver who experienced inappropriate activation of the emergency braking system, adding it alleges that the driver assist system inappropriately activated emergency braking, bringing the vehicle to a complete stop under what the driver considered to be full braking force. The driver also went on to say that it heard 3 to 4 beeps from the system while driving the rented vehicle, which had only 2,500 miles on it. GM is fully cooperating in the investigation. Awards: Motor Trend magazine awarded the full-size Chevrolet including the Impala as its 1977 Car of the Year. Automotive Fleet and Business Fleet magazines awarded the Impala the 2006, 2007, and 2008 Fleet Car of the Year. Canadian Automobile Association selected the Impala for its 2006 Pyramid Award for environmental initiatives for the launch of its new ethanol-powered E85 model. NASCAR. In 2007, the Impala began to replace the Monte Carlo on the NASCAR stock car racing circuit. More specifically, on all the scheduled racing events where NASCAR has mandated the use of a car with different new specifications, better known as the Car of Tomorrow. The Impala is also used to represent Chevrolet in the Nationwide Series. The 2012 NASCAR season marked the end of use of the Impala nameplate on stock cars. Starting in 2013, Chevrolet drivers began driving the Holden VF Commodore SSV-based Chevrolet SS for 2013 in Sprint Cup. Notes. References: Gunnell, John, editor. The Standard Catalogue of American Cars 1946 Euro 1975. Krauss Publications. ISBN A0-87341-096-3. Beal, John, A Glass Half Full, The Story of the 1958 Chevrolet, Collectible Automobile 21, 8 Euro 23. External links, Official site, Appearances of the Impala in TV and film, North American Impala Owners Association. Euro Your source for late model Impala information, History of the Chevrolet Impala 1958 Euro 2001, 1958 Chevrolet promotional video with footage about the design of the Impala, http, www.autoblog.com. 100 2015 B-Fuel Chevy Impala video / continued.